After months of being absent, I am now here with a video about a game with a lot of microtransactions. And no, I just want to be clear, this video is not sponsored, sadly. This damage calculator was possible because of this level 1 Order of Truth dummy. Among all the factions you can test here, I find this specific enemy to have 0 defense and 0% shock resistance, helping me break down the damage formula in the game and confirm my calculations in the actual game. Like, for real. I was trying to conceptualize it on paper while on lunch break in my 9 to 5 job. Will not be tackling every formula and mechanics in this game in this video because that will bore you to death. I know you just want to get that endorphin rush if what you are doing in the game gives you more damage or less damage. Instead, I will demonstrate how accurate this is, a step-by-step guide to use it, and how you should use it. Clarifications on multiplicative values and additive values might just be discussed in future videos so that I can still get revenue from your watch time. Let's start. You have to find these values in the game for my calculator to work. They look a lot and overwhelming, but I will guide you on how to get these things easily. Finding each box would be timestamped below, so you can just check each of them if you forget. We're going to test it on my tamer gun. In this screen, we can fill up the box called Gun Stats. The gun has Toxic Attack 350, Firearm Attack 6.7, and Firearm Critical Hit Damage of 19.2. As you can see, Faction Bonus is blank, Weak Point Damage is blank, Element Attack is blank, Firearm Crit Hit Rate is blank. It's fine. Weapon Change Speed is irrelevant here. Next box, we have to fill up are the base values. From your inventory, scroll over the gun and go to details. In here, we can get base critical hit rate, which is 10%. Base critical hit damage, which is 1.6. Base firearm attack, which is 5,145. Base weak point damage, which is 1. Are you still following? Just 2 more boxes. Now, we will fill up the applied values box. From the inventory, hover over the mod icon beside your gun and press it. That will bring you to the applied value page. You will see it on the left side. So, we have firearm attack of 12. Firearm crit hit rate of 10. Firearm crit hit damage of 19. Weak point, blank. Gun barrel, blank. Elemental enhancement, blank. Just a quick note. Element enhancement is the number you get from modules that give you certain elemental attack depending on your firearm attack. This module is not equipped right now, so I'm not going to place it. I'm just telling you that's what elemental enhancement percent means in my calculator. Gun barrel is the number you get from modules that buff existing elemental attack. We are leaving this blank because currently we aren't using it. It's just an FYI. Hang in there. One last box. From the inventory, again, press go to info. The actual fire rate we have is 688. The actual magazine size is 112. The actual reload time is 2.6. These 3 values are the only values you should get from this page. Ignore everything else. After all those steps, it would look like this. Moment of truth. How accurate is this? Go to laboratory settings and choose order of truth. Vulgus level 1. Quantity 1. Invincibility on. Before I shoot, let's analyze. I am firing a machine gun versus an enemy with vulnerability to burst damage. I will not be dealing green damage because machine gun is a crush damage weapon. This enemy is also weak to shock element. I am dealing toxic. As you can see, I've blocked some of the possible outcomes to make it clear for you. I will shoot her on one of her thighs, and I'm expecting 6,423 non-crit. And if it crits, it will be 14,202. As you can see, the non-crit hit is a match. The crit, however, is just technically 1 point something away. But it is safe to say, it is how we predicted it. Instead of 14,202, it is 14,204. Now, I will shoot her on the head and expect a non-crit yellow number around 9,476. If it crits, it will be 20,954. As we can see, almost same as the non-weak point hits. The non-crit is on point, but the crit is higher by a small portion. Instead of 20,954, it becomes 20,956. This is because this monster has toxic elemental resistance. I have tried to figure out how much resistance it has through testing, and at level 1, I believe this enemy has toxic resistance of 9.714285714%. Let's look at the other values here. DPS, no reload, is your damage per second if you have infinite ammo. Players using Glay can estimate their builds here and play around with stats to see where they can benefit the most. True DPS is self-explanatory. It is your actual damage per second. This number here takes into account your damage, your crit rate, your critical hit damage, magazine size, reload speed, fire rate, elemental damage, how many times you crit in one magazine, how many times you do not crit in one magazine, etc. Okay, the calculator is accurate, so what's next? We're going to compare two THUNDERCAGE SMG builds. First build is Deva's THUNDERCAGE. As you can see, gun stats, faction bonus versus Colossus is 2,449. Crit hit damage from the gun is 34.7, firearm attack 10.7, crit hit rate 13.3. Applied values: firearm attack 93, crit hit damage 201.3, weak point damage 35, element enhancement 30, crit hit rate 39. Actual fire rate is 888. Actual reload time is 1.47. Actual mag size is 30. This is how the calculator looks for his build. I've already placed there the base firearm, the base stats. Everything is there. Next is Arted's THUNDERCAGE. Gun stats, faction bonus is 2,064, crit hit damage 36.2, firearm attack 11.2, applied value, firearm attack 93, crit hit damage 201.3, weak point 55, element enhancement 30, crit hit rate 50.2. Actual fire rate 888, actual reload time, actual mag size 26. This is how his build looks in the calculator. Let's compare them side by side first. For build number 1, you can see here, Deva wins in total firearm attack plus the faction bonus. He also wins on paper in total crit chance by 0.42. Wins on reload time by a lot. That's a lot. Wins on magazine size, which is also a lot. I mean, for me, four bullets, that's a lot. For build number 2, which is Atred's build, he wins on weakness modifier. Wins on total elemental attack. and wins on total critical damage. Now, who do you think has higher damage per shot? Who do you think has higher true damage per second? Again, I'm asking who has higher damage per shot, and also who has higher damage per second. This is the result. I know. Why so many numbers? My brain is fried. First, I want you to understand, if you see a negative percentage, that means build number 2, which in this case is Atred's build, is weaker than build number 1 by that percentage. When you see a positive percentage, that means build number 2 is stronger than build number 1 by that amount of percentage. But brother, still so many numbers. Don't worry. All that really matters here is half the numbers you see on the screen. Non-crit white weak point means you are hitting the enemy with a damage type that it is not weak to. Non-crit green just means you're hitting the enemy with a damage type that it is weak to. You know, crush, pierce, burst. Going back to my question a while ago, we can see Atred's build doesn't completely lose. It actually deals more damage per shot. But since Deva has a bigger magazine size and faster reload, it catches up in the long run, making Deva's build deal more damage in reality. You might be big brain and thinking, well, I already know that because I have 69 years of gaming experience under my nutsack. Well, my question to you is, what will make Atred's build closer to beating Deva's build? Is it a 10% decrease in his reload speed or a 10% increase in his magazine capacity? I'll give you some time to think. While you are thinking, I want to say thank you again to Deva and Lazy for helping me test, and for Atred for using his fat brain for helping me figure out DPS. Also, I have a friend that is an author, which is a dreamer that dreams to get his light novels to be an anime. Check out his latest light novel. Look at that cover photo. All you horny bunny lovers might like it. Link in the pinned comments for that novel. Well, the answer is a 10% decrease in the reload speed. That will bring Atred's build closer to beating Deva's build. As you can see here, from 1.82, I changed it to 1.638. That's exactly a 10% decrease in the reload speed. If we take a look at the comparison again, it is now at negative 3.35% as compared to earlier when it was in negative 8.27%. That is how to use this calculator, to get rid of all those what-ifs in your brain. You can compare different guns here. Compare a sniper with an SMG, compare an assault rifle with a handgun. You get the point. Except beam rifles, okay? Accept them. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this helps you guys out. If it did, please share the video. Share the channel. I stream on Twitch as well. Thank you.